doing a real live stream. Ah, I finally got Riverside set up. I struggled with it. You remember last week, or I think I was last week, I thought I was doing a recording and I ended up doing a live stream instead. I've tried Ecamm Live, StreamYard. I couldn't get those connected with my brand account, but finally I got it set up, I think, with the Riverside, and which I'm pretty excited about. So, one of the things I really wanted to do was to be able to do that. Put somebody's face on the board. I love it. Simply Debbie Sue. My word. I'm so excited. There's the drum roll. Oh, brother. Debbie, I think you must be in every single live stream that I get on. I know you're on Scott's. I see you all over the place. It's amazing what you do. You're the ultimate community member. Oh, my word. So, today I wanted to do a couple of things, test out this. Let's see who we got here. Hi from the UK. See, hey, buddy. Good to see you, Keith. So glad that you either stayed up or got up early. I don't know. One of the two. Hey, Barb. Good to see you, too. I'm playing around with these. Alberta, Canada. All right. I love it. I'd like to get as good as Rob is. Rob the Maritimer. I followed him really close in all of his live streams. If I can get this down doing live streams, my goal is to do one live stream a week and one long form video a week. That's what I would really like to do. So stop by to say hello, Devil Dog. Yes, Semper Fi. You know, my driver's license says iDog on it. I won't give you the rest of it, but that was my call sign in the Marine Corps. I was in Marine Corps intelligence, and some people say, hey, I wasn't intelligent at all, but I had the ability to spot things that other people couldn't spot. And so that ended up, somebody said, man, you got good eyes, Devil Dog. You're an eye dog, and that's how that stayed up. So anyway, my setup now, I got my Shure MV7. I'm shooting today on my Sony uh, Vlog 2, I think it is, camera. I'm using that for my webcam. I'm using my new mic, new Mac Mini, and so man, I can't believe all the money I've spent on this stuff. Oh my word. Started off with my iPhone, like everybody else, and as it got monetized and I began to make some money, invested in some of the things that I wanted to do. So anyway, that's great. Hey, look at this guy here. My camera's in the way. Get to catch you live, Wisdom Shift. You got to go check out this guy's. He posted a video. I think it was yesterday. A great video. I love his content, man. His content is great. Doc and Angelico. I'm not sure what that is, but glad to have you with me. Hey, here's one of my new friends right here. Official JB Beverly. Ah, the money sure adds up quickly. Yes, it does. You need to go look at JB's most recent video. I'm going to put it in my comments, I think. He explains the difference between advice and now I can't think of what it was. Advice and what? Guidance. That's it. Advice and guidance. Uh, what a great video it was. He talks about when he was growing up, and he was in his boxing coach was he said a retired Marine. You never retire as a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. I should know. I'm a jarhead. But what a great story, and it was full of really good content, and I like the way JB's delivery. He's got a cowboy hat. He's out in the middle of nowhere. Go watch his videos. I'll leave a link in the on my community page later today, so maybe you can go check that out. So, oh, this is fun. Mm. One of the things I noticed in some of the chats, especially over on Scott's channel, Escaping the Suburbs, one of the things that he does is he, oh, well, the point I want to make is on his Wednesday night chats. I mean, everybody in the chat's talking to each other. He gets a few questions here and there, but I can't. It's amazing how many people are talking to each other. It's really great. It's really great. I meant to call Coach Lou inactive. Okay, JB, that's okay. Well, inactive, maybe that would work. But the video was great. Anyway, I want to talk about a couple of things today. One of my favorite books by Simon Sinek is Finding Your Why. This particular book is the workbook for it, but Know Your Why, Find Your Why. I can't remember exactly what the exact title of it is, but everybody talks about finding your why. I may do a whole video of this or clip this one out. Another book that is, I don't like the title of it, Wealthy and Well Known. Wealthy and Well Known. This is by Rory and I don't know if I got this mirrored. I should have mirrored this. Um, Wealthy and Well Known by Rory and AJ Vaden. Boy, what a terrific book. For any creator, you need to buy this book. But he makes a point in the book that really stuck out to me, and I wanted to talk about it just for a minute in a live chat today. I'm going to read a little bit from it. Page 105. He says, "Who is your you?" He thinks your who, not your you. Your who is more important than your why. Your who is more important than your why. The idea of targeting your communication to a single person isn't just a good tip; it's a foundational principle. Ironically, one of the great challenges that personal brands have, and one of the biggest reasons they fail, is that they are trying to talk to too many people. That's not the quote I wanted to start with, I don't think. Should have marked these pages better. Um, Here it is. I believe Simon Sinek message, and I'm a huge fan of his. This is what Rory says. I think that the phrase is actually wrong when it comes to personal brands, and I'm going to relate this to our YouTube channels. Personal brands, Simon's messages start with why, is geared more toward what makes great companies. And that is incredibly different from what makes a great personal brand. And all of us who have a YouTube channel, that's our personal brand. We are our brand. He goes on to say, for personal brands, I'm strongly convinced and utterly convinced you should, in fact, not start with why, but instead start with who. Brandon Kane, another one of my favorite guys, uh, talks about this from time to time. So there's a difference between demographics, which has to do with the why part, and he breaks down the demographics. And a lot of us, when we're trying to find our niche and trying to find what we want to talk about on our channel, this is kind of what we start with, and it's dependence. So if I'm looking at the person that I'm talking to, what my channel is going to be like: dependence, education, marital status, occupation, gender, religion, age, position, title, hometown, income, culture. That's the demographic profile of someone that we want to reach on YouTube. He suggests that psychographics is more important. Psychographics is the study and classification of people according to their attitudes and their aspirations. And his list of psychographics are really great. I'm going to give them to you right now. What so imagine your viewer, the people that are watching your channel and watching your videos. What does this person care most about? What does this person want or need? What is this person searching for? What are this person's passions and interests? What is this person's biggest life mission or goal? What are this person's limiting beliefs? What questions does this person need answered? What is holding this person back? How is this person feeling? What happens? What keeps this person up at night? This is really great. I think that, and he goes on to suggest something that I've suggested in some of my videos is that I try to get a picture of a person that I'm talking to, just one person. For me, I know my lane. I know the primary person I'm talking to are people that are in the fourth quarter of their life. I'm going to say 65 to 95. That doesn't limit my channel. I've got maybe 25, 30% of my subscribers are Gen X and baby boomers. Baby boomers right at the age of this 65 to 95. But but it's analogous to let's say after a meeting, I'm standing outside of a meeting, and there's somebody that's my age, and I'm talking to that person. Let's say they're 70 years old. But while I'm talking to them, several other people walk up, a Gen Z, a Gen Y, and a baby boomer. So I got three people standing there, and they're listening to me talk with this other person who is in the fourth quarter of their life, and he has just asked me a question, and I'm trying to give him an answer. Now, the three people standing around may pop in and give some information and give an answer or make a comment. But the key focus for me is not going to be in answering the questions for the Gen X, Gen Y, and baby boomer necessarily. I certainly could. My main focus is on that person who's in the fourth quarter of their life. So, this is kind of how I deal with my channel. I'm not as concerned about the topics well, I am concerned about the topics. I'm talking about how to start a YouTube channel for people in the fourth quarter of their life. I get uh, a lot of subscribers from that. But I've gotten some complaints lately from people who have left messages on my videos and said, "How come you're not talking about some of the wisdom stuff, some of your Marine Corps stories, some of the other things that have gone on in your life?" I did some videos on my adoption and different things I've learned. Some of the most important, and I will get back to those. The point is, no matter what topic, if I was going to talk about gardening, go out on my patio and talk about gardening, I would focus on people in the fourth quarter of their life. So I don't believe so much in niching down. It does make sense for certain topics, but I prefer to niche up and find a lane. A lane and a niche are two different things, in my opinion. The lane is the overall context of the ideal avatar, the list of those people who I want to reach, and it fits really well with the psychographic image that Rory does in his book, and I think is really great. The psychographics, because I want to create somebody that I'm talking to when I'm facing the camera, like I'm facing the camera now. I'm having a hard time not looking at my screen. I got to look at the camera. So, what I do, I get a woman or a man who's in my age group based on the topic that I'm talking about. That's the person who I'm talking to in my video. One more thing, and then I'll go back to the chat and see what's going on. When doing anything related to your personal brand, it's always best to isolate the face of one single real life person. This is Rory. This is what he says. He actually writes down the name of a person, gets that person in his mind, and that's who he goes ahead and gives his talk to. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time defining my who. Maybe that's something that you might want to do in your channel experience. I don't know. Well, let me go back here. I've lost track. Let's see. Seasoned life wisdom. Reverend Bill McBride here, working on my new channel. All right, Bill, good for you. Good for you, my friend. Good for you. Was the Marine Airborne. Oh, my word. Uh, Marine Corps Air Station in El Toro. They're no longer there. I love that place and went there for some training from time to time. So let's see here. Are you saying that you focus more on a single audience, so to speak, and that your audience is your niche? No, I'm saying my niche is, for me anyway, is more topic oriented or subject oriented. My audience can be a wide ranging audience. I could be talking to the entire world. For me, I like to define my audience, which is in my lane. For me, people in the fourth quarter of their life. Uh, and let's say Diane's Garden, which is a channel I really like. Diane does gardening videos. She probably doesn't think so much of age or whatever. Anybody that's got a gardening interest, that's her niche down topic. But she goes off onto all other kinds of things while she's going around. She goes in the house, does decorating, but she explains why she does it of what she thinks her audience will want to hear or will be inspired by. I think for me I hope that answered the question a little bit. Um, at some point, if you're not in the fourth, are you will be will you keep breathing? Well, I had somebody ask me the other day, how long am I going to keep preaching and how long am I going to be on YouTube? And I said, well, my goal right now is to make it to 90. I mean, Ruth Bader and a couple of folks on YouTube, I mean, they're already in their 90s. So hopefully I can make it that far if I keep healthy. Let's see. I know I'm not in the who. I just appreciate you and support fellow vets when I can. Well, that's okay. It's cool. I've had some of the greatest conversations with people who are not in my age group, who are not uh, um, in the fourth quarter of their life, and I've learned a lot from them. I think that's really cool. So, and like I said, I've got about 30% of my subscribers who are not in the fourth quarter of their life. Wow. Seasoned life with wisdom. Let me move this camera over so I can see the edge of that. My who mean over 65 dealing with retirement. I got to tell you, I've been fascinated by the retirement space on YouTube. I don't know if how many of you have been watching it. Larry popped off with a video with over 1 million, and Richard's retirement. There's a lot of people talking about retirement. My problem is I'm not retired. I'm still working full time. So I don't fit into I thought about doing some retirement videos, but I can't do a retirement video until I retire. I can talk about living into the retirement age, but the retirement sector is pretty interesting. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm really disturbed. I don't know, was Silver Solo. One of the other creators did a great video recently about AI slop related to seniors, and I found several of them. It's people that are putting out AI generated content. All they're doing is harvesting content. That's right. They're harvesting. You might as well watching one of those videos, and every one of the videos has a different person in the video doing the talking, and they sound like some old wise guy or old wise woman giving this great advice. I mean, you could go to Wikipedia and probably get the same advice. It's like, and it drives me nuts. The problem is there's there may be a real person behind it every once in a while. I mean, one of the videos, I think has got 1 million views, and it's got thousands of comments. And I read through the comments that the creator of the channel posted a few replies to a few comments, but all they said was thanks. No engagement. That's the problem with these AI generated videos. For the most part, there's no engagement by the creator because they didn't create content. All they did was go to an AI program, type in some prompts, give me the 5 things that seniors need most, the 5 things that teenagers need most, the 10 things that wives need most. So then they create an AI video around that, but they don't know anything about it. That just drives me insane. Ugh, I got to do a video on that. Anyway, I really got off track. I apologize for that. Let's go back here. It's raining here in Southern California, by the way. And I'm still getting used to this. I'll get it. Hi, Mike. Valerie from Cash Bay. Now, here's a cool gal. Man, I got to tell you, just joining. My dad is soon to celebrate his 95th birthday. I bet you'll make it to 90. Piece of cake. Uh, Valerie's channel. If you've not been to her channel, I mean, she could go to any store that sells anything. She'd go to a hardware store. She would find the best buys in the world, and she would walk out of there saving tons of money. This is a lady that goes through her house, finds all kinds of things, talks about organization, but saves money. It's a great channel. I got to tell you, please go there and visit her channel. She's a really great cash budget retiree. And Valerie, thanks for jumping in. I love you. I love your channel. You're really great. And let's see here. Question: how you keep yourself so healthy? Well, I could probably do another video about this. I may do something. I'm gonna release a video on Friday about working with sponsors. I did a video on affiliates, but I want to do one on sponsors. Last year, I made over $10,000 with sponsorship deals, and I'm a part-time YouTuber, 82 years old, and but I want to talk about the dangers that you can get involved with sponsors. I want to talk about how I negotiated the deals. Uh, Two of my sponsors have been mobility products where I created a standalone video for them. I've got two other products that a third product that I did a standalone video for. And then the fourth sponsor that I really love, that I've actually put as an ad in one of my recent videos. But sponsorships are tricky. I want to walk through the mechanics of setting up a sponsorship and how you do it. I think it's really important so you don't get burned. We've heard some war stories. Matter of fact, I got one the other day. I got one the other day. Click on this attachment and fill out the contract. We'll send you $500. Well, you do that, you're liable to lose your channel. Don't ever do anything like that. Matter of fact, without telling you the whole video that comes out on Friday, before I do a sponsorship deal, I demand a Zoom call. I won't do any sponsorship unless I've talked to somebody in marketing, PR, and in 2 cases, I got to talk to the president of the company and the CEO of the company. That makes much for a much better deal, I got to tell you, and it's much more powerful that way. So, yeah, I forgot the question was, how do I keep myself healthy? Well, I use kettlebells. My friend Motit got me into kettlebells. I walk a lot. At 82, there's things that are going to slow. There's some people that have genetics, and I mean they're just healthy, and but a lot of us aren't. So you have to work at it. I think moving is the most important. Here's 2 things that are so hard: sleeping and moving. If you can sleep, and for older people, they got to get up, go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. That's a real problem. But if you can get your sleep in and you can move, the worst thing that you can do is stop moving. You don't have to be a weightlifter, but you've got to keep moving. A lot of mobility stuff involved with that. I eat pretty good, and I won't tell you what I'm eating, but that can be controversial. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. Uh, let's see. Let me go back up here for a moment. Well, I was just talking about this guy, Jim over 30. Moti, how you doing, buddy? I was just talking about you. I don't know if you heard. Somebody asked me how I still stay healthy. Now, I've had a couple of problems with my kettlebells and my walking because I injured my knee and I can't if you can't walk, then I can't walk with the kettlebells. So here, go to this channel right there. Go see him, uh, Jim over 40. Moti got a great channel. He and I have done a collaboration together. I'll be doing a video in the future about how we collaborated on a video that was pretty exciting. But kettlebells are great, and at any age, mine aren't real heavy, but I use the kettlebell walk. Go check out his channel. It's really great. So here's a great question. What is your take on using AI for writing scripts? The functioning melancholic does, and I've seen his channel explode. Well, here's the problem. I did try to answer that already. Uh, I think that the only I've let AI modify some of my scripts. I will not let AI write my script. Now, I use Chat GTP and I've told it what content it can look for when it's helping me out. Most AI programs, you can set up a profile and tell it what not to do and what to do. I think that's really important. I am not happy with AI scripts that are not written by the person that puts the video out. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, go in, get the script, and then you can write it in your own words and whatever. Well, yeah, if you can actually write it as it's coming from you. In other words, it has to have enough of you in. I think here's the point. If you're going to use AI, use AI to supplement, improve you, not to replace you. Oh, I like that. I'm going to say that again. If you're going to use AI, you want it to help you, assist you, but not take your place. And a lot of the AI slop is doing just that. It's advice you could get on WebMD. All of the senior stuff you see out there, I'm not kidding. You could go on WebMD right now. And a matter of fact, they may be copying some of that content. I'm getting worked up. Hang on. Ugh. Am I healthy? That's my double espresso. Anyway, yeah, the AI slop is you can go into any of these medical websites. They got articles about what seniors need. Copy that over, stick it into AI. Give it some prompts to make a video out of it, and there you go. But that's advice from WebMD. It's not. But all of these AI slop kind of advice stuff isn't coming from the heart of the person. If I tell you how I stay healthy, it's from me. It's what I'm doing. There's things I should be doing that I'm not doing, but I will give you my advice on what I'm doing. As JB says, my guidance. I'll tell you what works and what doesn't work. But it's not generated by some AI creature. Again, though, I will take a script and I do write bullet points out, ideas out. I'll take that script, I'll drop it into Chat GTP, which is the main one that I use, and I'll ask it, correct the spelling, correct the grammar. Am I missing anything out? Find a few quotes from me or for me. But see, ChatGTP has the entire body of my YouTube channel, all of the text on all of my videos. I dumped all of that into ChatGTP. So it knows the way I talk. It knows the style that I have. And a lot of times I'll say, I'll instruct it, don't give me any outside resources. Draw from what I've already said. Add to it from based on that. There's so much the AI can do to help, but I'm really opposed to just taking content that's manufactured, hijacked content, and drop it into an AI video and act as if somehow I'm the expert when the expert was somebody else. No, you really can't. You're 70. You don't look 70, buddy. I don't believe that. You're not 70. Well, of course, a lot of people say, I don't look like I'm 82. So anyway, Amanda, I hope that helped answer that question. I got it. It's right now. It's a hot button in my brain, and so I have a lot of problem dealing with it and with sanity without kind of going overboard. Uh, move through here a little bit. Answered that one. Still getting used to Riverside. I really do like Riverside. I got a few things I've got to tweak a little bit to make sure it works right. Hello from Utah. I love Utah. I used to spend a lot of time um, with our RV in Utah. Old Henry. Wish you pastor a little. A little what? I could use a lot today. I don't know. Let's see. Crash Talk Vets is another great channel. Yes, real time advice from someone that experienced what they're talking about is priceless. And I think that will continue to distinguish those of us that have YouTube channels that our faces appear. Now, I'm not against a faceless channel. A lot of craft channels are faceless. You don't see the person that's doing the craft, but they're talking into the microphone or they're doing an overlay. Uh, uh, Talking over it with their audio. So those are great videos, but that's not an AI generated kind of a situation. So I don't know. Debbie Sue, what's a mistake you see small creators make that's easy to fix? Well, let me think about that for a moment. I think a lot of new creators, if you know anything about me, if you post a comment on any of my videos, I go look at your channel. I'm going to say half of the channels I look like half the channels I look like at don't have a banner, don't have a channel description, and the there's some other issues, but one mistake that can be quickly fixed is create a banner. It doesn't have to be fancy, but a channel description is so important. The algorithm. There I go. I got to think about it. The algorithm looks at the channel description. There's a lot of things that are really important to do with that. And AI can help you with it, but you got to be careful. AI is famous for putting unused, unneeded emojis, dashes, and stuff. You need to clean all those out of it. But yeah, you need a really effective channel description, and it's really easy to set up. So let me go back to the question again. I think it's a good question. Uh, so that's the first mistake that could be done. I think the second mistake has to do with recording the video, and it has to do with sound and lighting. You don't have to be a video expert when you start out. I mean, all of us when we start out, our maybe our videos don't stink, but they get better as you go along. You need a decent microphone. Your I started with my iPhone 16 Pro Max, and I think my very first video I didn't have a microphone. My second one I did. You can get a wired mic to that. Uh, get by a window. I've got a big window here. Uh, Here's my advice. First thing to do before you record a video is record 5 sample videos. That's what I did when I started my channel. I think I may explain that in my video on starting a channel at 80. You do 5 sample videos. That would solve so many problems for so many folks. I saw a channel the other day, lovely lady. She had a really great message, but it was like an echo chamber, and the lighting was terrible, and she was all washed out on the screen. Those are things that if you shot 3 or 4 sample videos and you watch the video yourself, you could fix all that. So do some sample videos. They don't have to be long. I mean, get a book and read from a book in front of the camera, and test out the mic. I'm amazed how many people don't take the time just to watch themselves. They wait till they're on YouTube and watch themselves and say, "Oh man, I really stink." No, create that video first before you publish it. Watch it and then say, "Whoa, that really stinks." Make it better. That's an easy fix. Hey, great question, Debbie. Thank you very much. Whew. Oh, Wendy says, I go back and watch my videos to see what I can fix and do better. I think everybody has to do that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Are there lessons you have learned that could be given to help new creators that keep struggling with getting started because of life events? I mean, sometimes life is depressing. In the Marine Corps, one of my favorite stories was in boot camp. You have to get through the obstacle course. I think I shared this in one of my videos somewhere. And I could never get over the wall that leaned this way. So you run at the wall, you got your full packing gear, you got to jump up, grab onto the wall, and get yourself over. I've never had a lot of upper body strength, and I was a runner, not a weightlifter guy. And so I struggled all through boot camp. I never got over the wall. So now it's graduation day. I mean, now it's if I don't get over the wall on the last day of the test, I go back. And in the Marine Corps in boot camp, you don't want to go backwards. You want to get out of there, right? I had a drill instructor, and JB, if you're still watching, you'll like this. Drill instructors aren't noted for being gentle, but this guy was really great. Instead of giving me advice, he sort of did with me what your Marine Corps boxing guy did with thee. He gave me guidance. He guided me in a technique, both mentally and physically, to get over that wall. Would you believe on the last day that if I didn't get over, I had to go back? I got over that wall. So what do I tie that to for YouTube creators? I tie it to the 3 months that I had to train mentally, physically to get over the wall. There's a Bible verse, James chapter 1, I think it's verse 2. Count it all joy, my brethren, when you fall into various trials, knowing this, that the testing of your faith produces endurance. One of my favorite passages to preach on and encourage people with. Patience or endurance is something that doesn't happen immediately, it takes time. But the writer of James says, count it all joy. Man, I had no joy running at that wall every time I went out on the obstacle course and fell down, and people laughed at me, and a couple of the other drill instructors kicked me in the butt, you know. But I got to tell you, while that one drill instructor was spending time with me, a bunch of other of my Marine buddies, they ran around the wall. They were not trained, or the patience was not developed in their life. You know what? Those guys got put back a week. So patience, being patient, working through the process, spending time getting better, 1% better, is really the way to go. Uh, I think having modest goals is so important. It takes a year to 2 years to get monetized. I mentioned the other day to someone, it takes 6 months to a year just to start feeling comfortable. Maybe I said that in a video. Feeling comfortable sitting here doing what I'm doing. I couldn't have done this, when I started out. You have to build to it, you know. So anyway, that was a great question. I loved it. I love that question. Here was the question. Thank you. Yeah, life can be depressing. Life happens, you know. My wife is back in the back bedroom. I'm her full-time caregiver, and my dog, fortunately, Mickey's quiet today, at least for at least for now. But I got to preach on Sunday. I got something. I got all kinds of things going on, and then in the middle of it, my knee went out. Life happens. Let's see here. This is a great chat. I've had a lot of fun with this. I hear you, Henry. 3 years at this, and it's not an easy road. I visit channels all the time that have been on for some of them 15 or 16 years. I mean, a long time, and yet uh, they've never grown. And you have to ask yourself why is well, first of all, there's long breaks between when they were recording and when they weren't recording. Not a lot of consistency in content. But there are other channels that have got pretty decent content, but haven't got a lot of traction. Sometimes the algorithm is unfavorable. I'm not in favor of blaming the algorithm all the time, but yeah, it's a tough road. It's a tough road. Sometimes go back up here. Sometimes, well, here's my view. Um, the harder the road, well, let me phrase it another way. Uh, there's a quote I saw from an ancient philosopher. If you're going to do something, you have to let something go. Yeah, not very profound, is it? If you're going to do if you're going to do something, you have to not do something. That's the quote. If you're going to do something, you have to not do something. So a lot of this has to do with if I want to be successful as a creator, there may be some things I need to stop doing. Maybe in my life, maybe on my channel, I have to get serious about what I'm doing. I maybe I need to take a moral inventory, a channel inventory, a time inventory. I mean, I've done all of these things over the years. I'm a recovering AAA. I won't tell you from what, But I went through that whole process. So I've been through that, which was very helpful. But you don't start out with AA and 2 weeks later you walk out and you're set free. You don't start a YouTube channel and 2 weeks later you're going to be success. Here's the problem. My fourth video was a viral video, kind of like Larry's 1 million videos from a few weeks ago. Mine wasn't that big, but it was pretty good for me. 450,000, I think. That viral video on the fourth week, it blew up my channel. I got monetized in 9 weeks. The problem was it might have been the worst thing that happened to me. For one, I thought I was really something when I wasn't. Okay. Number two is when you all of a sudden overnight have 5, 10,000 subscribers that you didn't have a week or two ago, there's an expectation that you're going to keep delivering something and you haven't figured out how to deliver it yet. You don't even know what you're doing. So I had to take a step back after that viral video and really rethink my strategy. I had to think my own purpose, as a matter of fact. Uh, so sometimes instant success is the worst thing. The stories about lottery winners. I think the majority of lottery winners are broken bankrupt rather quickly. So instant success is really not the way to go. Thanks. I've been posting 8 months and hearing it takes 2 years helps me not sure if I'm wasting time or no. Hey, Mac Movement. I think I know you. I don't know. Uh, no, you're not wasting your time. I have one other video that's got a lot of traction because I think it's so meaningful. If it's kind of my attitude in preaching. In churches these days, everybody's worried about church growth and numbers and whatever, but it's not about numbers. And I learned this early on in pastoring small churches. If there's 3 people there or 2 people there, I preach like there's 1,000 there. Let me say that again. I preach as if there's 1,000 there. Now I don't run around the stage and act crazy, but when I create a video and I have that one person that I'm talking to, that's the only person I want to reach. Think of it this way. Let's say you're doing a video. Let's say somebody's watching this live stream, and all of a sudden they hear something that changes their life in such a way that it avoids a horrible calamity in their life. They make a major course correction or a minor course correction. One of my best friends was a NASA scientist who got the Mars rover to Mars, and he used to give a talk. I loved it. They were always adjusting the course on the way to Mars. The reason was if they got, I forgot the small number, but 1 small degree off on that course, they're going to miss Mars by 1,000,000 miles. You're always making these small incremental changes as you go along. So here's my point. If only one person hears my video and they make a decision that improves their life 100%, keeps them from doing harm, keeps them encouraged and moving forward, that's a success. The problem is you can't measure it. Yeah, they may leave you a comment, they may not. But to me, I've got over 40,000 subscribers, but I care about them all, but I care about the one person I'm talking to right now, that person would be encouraged and inspired, then their life would be changed. If that happens, then for me, I consider that a success. So the homework dad. I can't believe you're in here, buddy. Do you find, I see Mickey's going to get involved. Do you find live streams to be as valuable, more valuable, less valuable than long form videos for your growth on YouTube? Well, the problem is I've only been doing maybe 1 live stream a month. They have not contributed at all to my channel. I don't think so. I got monetized. I didn't need the watch hours, uh, but I really desire community. I'll probably start a SKOOL community at some time. I'm looking forward to doing that. For me, the live stream is doing what I'm doing right now, connecting with people and getting a chance to talk without a script, just rattle off the top of my head, which I really love doing. And so that's my quick answer. I think on some channels, Rob the Maritimer, his live streams I know have contributed a lot to his channel. I think they do make sense. I want to do one a week. Right now, I'm only doing one a month. This is the first one I'm doing in Riverside. I finally got all of that set up, so I'm pretty excited about being able to do that. So I don't have a good answer. I think it's a channel by channel situation, whether it makes sense for your strategy or not. Let's see, Grandpa Chuck. Now here's man, you got to go watch Grandpa Chuck. He's one of my favorite guys. Smart, cigar smoking believer who just He's got it's full of wisdom. Let's see what he says. I don't believe in instant success. It takes decades to learn the skills to pop up. Whoops, I lost you. Hang on. To pop up as an instant success. We too often see the end result, but not the struggle to get there. That's right. A lot of times you see the person that the success, but you don't see the work. I forgot what it was. Was it? Steve Jobs, I don't know. One of these famous guys came up with this slogan. He gets quoted a lot. He gave it as a commencement address, and he said, "You need 4,000 hours to be good at anything." I think that was a figure. I may be wrong. 4,000 hours. To be a good pianist, you got to practice 4,000 hours. I mean, to be a professional tennis, you got to practice 4,000 hours. Who is willing to put in 4,000 hours? Well, the guys that are performing on stage, the guys that are playing in tennis tournaments, the guys that are playing at the Rev Golf Championship here in Los Angeles this weekend, they've spent thousands of hours in practice. I think it's so important that we understand that when you, like Colin McCarroll, that won Pebble Beach last week in golf, the thousands of hours and his story of being down on himself and everything. It's a wonderful story, but and he gets to be at the end and win and announce that his wife's pregnant. It was a wonderful moment, but you don't see the hours and hours and the pain and the struggle of it. So Grandpa Chuck is right. It's it's one day at a time. The old slogan, eating one. How do you eat elephant? One bite at a time. Well, let's see. I'm running out of steam here. Let's see. I answered that. Let's see. This is such a great point. Instant success can add a lot of stress that you don't expect, especially if one video does well and the others don't. That's right. As a matter of fact, the two videos after my viral videos were complete flops. I love it. Oh man, I thought I went from the high to the low. Oh my word. Yeah, I'm having trouble getting the screen to work right. Hmm. I ran into a lot of stress when I started my channel. I'm retired and stress is not something I want, so I went to rambling about getting old. It's very therapeutic. Larry rambles a lot. I think his channel is for retirement survival or something like that. He rambles, but he rambles in a constructive way. I think that's the attraction to his channel. No channel description, no thumbnail. He does think out his titles. He's got some really good titles, but he's a really good thinker, and that's one of the things that helps him. And he sticks basically to one topic. So He had a video out recently why we don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Stuck on that topic, gave some good reasons. The things I don't do now that I'm retired. Sticks on the topic, speaks from his heart. That makes sense. I think in the fourth quarter of your life, you don't need to reinvent yourself. You've already invented yourself. Don't try to reinvent yourself when you're 82 years old. I am what I am, and that's all I am for right now. Well, I'm about running out of time. Uh, Hang on a minute. Let me get a couple more here. I ran into a lot of stress when I started my channel. I just did that. Or did I? Yeah, I did that. I'm falling apart. That's a wonderful thing about being old. Uh, you know, yeah, I hang around people that tell a lot of old jokes. They aren't really that funny because they make fun of dementia and Alzheimer's. So I'm really not big on old jokes. Yeah, let's see if I missed anything. Remember, if you're going to ask a question, you're supposed to put QQQ in front of it so I can pick it out really good. Most of you are doing that. Let me look over my phone real quick. So this is about an hour. That's about my limit. Here in Southern California, it's going to be lunchtime pretty soon. How did I miss this? Circuits FM. Thank you very much. $10. I appreciate that. That doesn't show up on my live stream on in Riverside. I don't know why that is. I'll have to try to figure that out. But I see it over here. Giving that a heart. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. See, I can actually see these a lot better on my phone. Okay, I'm winding down. That's enough for one. A sponsorship video would be most helpful. Yes, Valerie, I'm going to do it. Matter of fact, it's ready to go. I'm going to record it tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for being in here. I'm really, thank you, Chuck, JB, for being here, Debbie, Valerie, everybody that's here, Homework Dad, so many people that I know and care about. You guys are really great. And Grandpa Chuck says, my kids say my jokes are old. Well, hey, you're 100 years old, man. Come on. Let me see, get down to this one. Wisdom just says, you really helped me last year when you mentioned not quitting when you get discouraged when they aren't getting views or subscribers. Um, Here's a creator who's got some really important things to say, and it doesn't have a very big channel. And you just need to keep pushing those videos out. I love shouting out new creators. I'm going to do some more of that soon. I'm going to assemble a bunch that I feel need recognition or shouting out. And I think that's really important. But anyway, I want to thank all of you so much for being here today. I think my Riverside live stream really worked and did pretty good. I'm happy. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend coming up. This is old Mike. Oops, old me living better. If you ain't dead, you ain't done. And I'm definitely not dead, so I'm not done.